Hello, Steve White, Trek Boy 89 for Steve Arts 89. Well, season 3 of Strange New Worlds has premiered. They dropped 2 episodes at once. The first episode, I keep wanting to say the name of the girl from Harry Potter, part 2. And Wedding Bell Blues was the second episode. Now, this episode was the Q slash Tree Lane episode that no one seems to know exactly what they're doing with. It starts off with Spock getting ready for Christine Chapel to return. It's been 3 months since the Gorn incident, and he's working with La'an to practice how to dance, and he's planning a big romantic reception for Chapel when she comes back to the Enterprise. Like, you know, he's got this book that he's given to her as a gift that he's been working on, and it's really weird because if their relationship ended, why wouldn't he know? If they were on a break, why wouldn't he know? If they were paused, why wouldn't he know? If they'd broken up, why wouldn't he know? Like, why is he acting as though they're still in a relationship, yet they haven't spoken for 3 months? Because apparently they haven't spoken the whole time. And if they were seeing each other, why wouldn't they continue speaking? And if they'd broken up, why wouldn't he know? It doesn't make any sense they haven't spoken for 3 months. It just seems to be as an excuse to have this awkward transporter room scene where she beams up with her new boyfriend, Corby, and Spock doesn't understand because they play him like an idiot, which is what they always do. So he is rude to the Doctor. We've seen this scene. He's rude to the Doctor, and eventually gets a clue, and La'an sort of helps a little bit by asking her, how many quarters will you need, basically? Like, hello. And it's all just really just, I don't know, young adult sort of teen sort of CW sort of drama. And it's like, is this a science fiction show or some teen drama? It's like, really, yeah. So then they have a meeting up at the bar on the Enterprise, and of course, you know, everyone wants to know all about this new guy that Christine's with, and of course Spock is not comfortable. Eventually he leaves, he goes to the bar, and this bartender offers to give him something to, you know, sort of, you know, make things feel a bit better. And yeah, he wakes up, and Christine's by his side in bed, and basically they're together and they're planning a wedding, and the wedding planner is this over-the-top guy who looks a lot like Tree Lane in his costume, and is very camp, and it's a bit stereotypically gay, and a little, not sure if it's offensive or not, but it's just sort of like, why? And yeah, there's just a whole lot of annoyingness, and then we have eventually, because the whole time Corby's there, and he's like annoyed and looking at Spock and giving him dirty looks, and eventually he confronts him and is like, this is not how it's meant to be. Like, he seems to know that he should be marrying Chapel and not Spock, and Spock eventually punches him, and then Spock realizes that he's so out of character that this can't be reality, and eventually through a bunch of weird incidents and events, they eventually work out that this is all because of this Q-like character, this Tree Lane-like character, and they don't name him as Tree Lane. They don't say he's Tree Lane, and they don't say he's a Q either, but they do have John Delancey coming in doing the voice of the parent being that basically tells him, you're being a naughty boy, we're going to have to send you home again, just like at the end of Squire of Gothas. So some people are saying, oh, it's Tree Lane and he's a Q, and some people are saying, oh, he's a Q. The episode doesn't really define either. It doesn't really give us a definitive answer, I didn't think, unless I missed something. And they're having fun with it, which is kind of fun, but not really, because they should, I don't know if they should have just left it alone or really just give it a definitive Enterprise, you know, the way they went through the whole Klingon thing and explained it. Some people hate that. I actually liked it, because Worf's little, oh, we don't speak about it, thing about the Klingon, the differences between the Klingons between the original series and that, never really worked for me. But the idea that Tree Lane was a Q and he was a young Q, because we did see Q have a son, and exactly how the Q work is something I'm really not clear of now. I'm trying to think back to what they did in Voyager. They did a lot with Q in Voyager, and I haven't seen Voyager as many times as I've seen Next Generation. So I'm trying to remember exactly what they did with the Q in Voyager, in so much as Q having a son and all that. But yeah, so it didn't really go in that direction, and didn't really do anything really interesting. It didn't really give us like another episode with Treeline, really, because it's like, is it Treeline? Is it not Treeline? It kind of is, but yeah, and if it was Treeline, like, why didn't they recognize him when he appeared on the bridge? Because in the other Q episodes with Treeline and Q, they just appear on the bridge. We know what's happening. This one, they tried to do some comedic, oh, we don't know what's happening. You know, it's just a bunch of, it's just an excuse to make a bunch of supposedly comedic scenes with the characters acting ridiculously. So not a great episode, not a great moment in science fiction. Pretty mid, which is what I'm getting from this season so far. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of the episode, and feel free to ding the bell and look at the channel, because, you know, YouTube won't be showing you any of my videos. You have to look for them.